Been okay. People are starting to realize the value of SEO nowadays. So that's making it a little bit easier because in the past, people didn't really understand, like, why do I need to be on Google? What's the point of it? And now people are realizing if you're not on Google, your competitors are. And there's a lot of different ways to be on Google.
Welcome to A Better Lifestyle. I am your host, Richard, and I will be with you throughout this journey. This show is here to empower individuals to do more in life professionally. You will find a variety of topics that will help you to be more productive and more successful. So join me and the professionals from different industries as we bring education and knowledge for more success.
Hi, everybody. My name is Richard. Welcome to A Better Lifestyle. Today, our topic is SEO, and I have the pleasure to have Brandon Leibowitz with me, and he's going to educate us on SEO. So, for anybody who wants more from the digital marketing, this show is probably for you. So, Brandon, I'm glad to have you on the podcast. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. How did you get started in SEO? How long you've been doing it? And just a brief intro.
Yeah, thanks for having me on today. And I've been involved with digital marketing since 2007. Got my degree in business marketing. And the first job I got out of college was actually doing SEO and digital marketing, which I had no idea anything about it. I didn't know much about it. And they said, don't worry, you don't really know much either. We're going to take you like classes and workshops and learn alongside you, which I thought was kind of interesting and went with it. And back in 2007, just realized I feel like everyone's probably going to have a website in the future. And SEO is a way to get free traffic from Google. So why spend money on paid ads, which it works, but if you get up there for free, it's going to be a lot better long-term. So I worked at different advertising agencies over the years, and while I was working, I would always be picking up clients here and there, doing freelance work and building it up until I was able to get enough clients where I could quit my job and focus solely on my company, which is now what I do.
Okay. I think what's the name of the company again?
It's called SEO Optimizers.
Okay. And how long it's been in operation?
Ever since I first started doing SEO back in 2007, I realized that you could just have a website, or I could just go to a restaurant or a local business and tell them, hey, do you want to rank at the top of Google? And could pick up clients here and there. So when I first started working at that company, I actually started my own business because I realized, well, I bartered with somebody. So I traded somebody where they built me a website and I did their SEO. So they helped me out with that aspect of it. And then from there, I just kept going with it and worked full time. But on before or after work, I'd work on my company, or on weekends, I'd be working on my company and just building it up that way.
Okay. And how's business so far with everything that's happened in the recent months?
Well, it's been okay. People are starting to realize the value of SEO nowadays. So that's making it a little bit easier because in the past, people didn't really understand, like, why do I need to be on Google? What's the point of it? And now people are realizing if you're not on Google, your competitors are. And there's a lot of different ways to be on Google, but if you can get up there for free, why spend that money on ads? So people are just really realizing nowadays, because back when I first started doing this in 2007, people didn't really understand the value of SEO. Nowadays, it's a little bit easier. Not everyone still understands the value, but it's becoming more and more aware of how important it is to be online.
Okay. Can you give us just a brief definition of what's SEO for people who don't know?
Yep. So SEO stands for search engine optimization, which means optimizing your website for the search engines. So when you search on Google, there's ads at the top of Google. Right below the ads are the organic, the free listings, and SEO is about getting you in the free listings. So trying to get your website free traffic so you don't have to spend money on Google ads or whatever platform you're on. If you're on Bing or Yahoo or any of these search engines, it's just trying to capture that free traffic. And it used to just be websites that are listed there, but now there's images, there's videos, there's maps. So it's a lot more dynamic. There's a lot more going on. So if you're a local business, you want to try to get up in the maps. If you have videos, you want to optimize those videos, you want to optimize all your images, and just try to take up as much free real estate as you can on that first page of Google. That's really the main goal of SEO.
Okay. And I think there's different types of SEO. Am I wrong? Like there's offline. I think, is it offline or off page? And
yeah, there's different types of SEO. Like if you're a local business, you want to get ranked on Google Maps. If you have videos, I could actually optimize those videos to rank higher on YouTube. If you're on Yelp, I could actually rank you higher on Yelp or on Amazon. But then with SEO, there's on page, which means optimizing your website. Off page is anything that doesn't affect your website. So on page would be going into the coding, making changes to the coding. And then off page would just be anything that doesn't touch your website. Like if you got an article published on Forbes, that's not affecting your coding on your website. That'd be off page SEO. So on page, you optimize your website. Off page is other people.
And what are the different whenever we speak about SEOs, because like I said before we hit the record button, I was listening. I told you I listened to a few videos or you were guests on different podcasts, and you were talking about backlinks. And so there's a lot of terms out there: backlinks, title tags. What are other terms are out there, like anybody who needs to know about SEO? And tell us a little bit about what is backlink, because I know you mentioned that a lot in your podcast.
No, there are a lot of terminology and different words, but that could just go on and on for hours and hours and days. So I don't think that'd be the best. But with backlinks, it is so important because you can put keywords all over your website and Google doesn't care what you put on your website. Google doesn't trust anybody. They see all these keywords that you put on the website and they just say, we don't trust you. Why would we trust you when there's all these other websites that have been around for years that we know they're legitimate, credible businesses? So the way to build trust up is by getting other websites to talk about you, which is the off-page SEO that I just talked about earlier, is getting other websites to talk about you. So if you're reading an article on Forbes and then there it says Brandon Leibowitz and you click on it and it goes to my website, I'd be getting a backlink from Forbes. So it's essentially getting other websites to talk about you.
Okay. And how does the whole SEO like work? Like if someone wants to be successful at it, how would they proceed?
They have to build those backlinks. Without those backlinks, it's pretty much impossible to rank on Google. Google's little algorithm started based off backlinks and it's still primarily based off backlinks. It's changed a lot how they look at those backlinks, but without backlinks, Google's not going to trust you and they're not going to rank your website. So you could do all the things that Google wants you to do, like you're saying, like title tag and meta description and alt tags for images or schema or sitemaps or canonical tags and header tags and interlinking all your pages together and blogging and all the stuff that Google wants you to do on your website. But without those backlinks, Google just doesn't trust you. And you need to build backlinks. There's a lot of different ways to build backlinks. You can look at your competitors' backlinks by using different tools like Ahrefs or Moz or SEMrush. You have to pay for these tools, but they'll show you anyone's backlinks. And then one by one, you can look at your competitors and try to acquire those backlinks, because if it's working for them, it's more than likely going to work for you.
Okay. And how does social media now and SEO work together?
Social media is just a way to drive traffic to your website, but social media doesn't help out with SEO. Google's blocked from all social media sites because they're all direct competitors, except for Twitter. Google partnered with Twitter, but SEO and social media, they're all, because Facebook is a direct competitor of Google because Google owns YouTube and Facebook is trying to push videos heavily. I mean, Google made Google Plus a couple of years ago, or maybe a while ago. They took it away, but social media and Google do not get along with each other. So they're blocked from each other and it's not going to help out. Like just like running paid ads, it's not going to help out with your SEO. The real thing is those backlinks. And then once you have backlinks, then you got to optimize your website by having good content and making sure all the keywords are in the right places.
And one thing I wanted to say, can someone learn how to do SEO and manage everything, or they have to hire someone to do it, like an agency?
No, you can learn it. I learned it by just reading up and going to classes and workshops and reading blogs and watching videos, and there weren't really podcasts back then, but now you can listen to a podcast or whatever it may be to just learn as much as you can. But if you're a business owner, it might be tough because you have to run your business, and learning SEO does become like a full-time job. But if you're trying to start in SEO as a career, then yeah, you can definitely learn it on your own by watching my videos. I put up all my classes I've done over the years all up on YouTube. So if you search my name, you can find all my classes for free that I've taught over the years that go in depth about pretty much all aspects of SEO, social media, Google Ads, tracking everything with analytics and Search Console and things like that.
Okay. And how much does it cost if someone wants to hire an agency?
So with SEO, it's not one size fits all. Every website's different. Just depends on how many pages you have. Because if you're an e-commerce website selling 10,000 products versus a doctor might only have 5 pages. Every page on the website needs to be optimized. But also, how many backlinks do you have versus the competitors, and what's the disconnect? Because that's what tells me how much work needs to be done. If you have 0 backlinks and your competitors have 5,000 backlinks, it's going to be really tough. It's going to take a lot of time. Whereas if you have 1,000 backlinks and your competitors have 2,000 backlinks, it's not going to be that tough. It's not going to take as much time and effort to build it up. So it really just depends. That's why I do free consultations where I look at people's websites and analyze it, trying to figure out where the disconnect is between you and your competition and how to fill that void up.
Okay. Well, SEO's been around for a while. Any trends, like new things that people in the digital marketing needs to know about SEO for them to be more successful?
Just making sure everything is going towards mobile, making sure your website is mobile first when you build it out, making sure it looks good on mobile, it loads quick, it's easy to check out, there's not much clutter on it, but mobile is really taking over. Videos are taking over. People want visual content. They don't want to read an article or a blog post anymore. Attention spans are too short, so visual content or videos work really well to get your messaging out there and convey your message and spread the word. If you look at like social media, it's all really going to video nowadays. It's still text and images, but primarily videos are really dominating. So jumping on video and just being aware of mobile is just taking off, not slowing down anytime soon.
Okay. So if someone has a website and they want more traffic, the main thing is backlinks.
Backlinks are a big part of the SEO puzzle, where I probably spend 80% of my time. But SEO is like a puzzle. You want to put all the pieces together. If you're just building backlinks and not optimizing your website, Google's not going to know what keywords to rank you for. So gotta do both. But the backlinks are the most important. Without the backlinks, Google's not going to rank you. So backlinks get the trust. And then once Google trusts you, they're going to look at those keywords on your website to figure out what keywords to rank you for.
Okay. And how long does it take, like, not to learn all this, but I'm sure some people like tried like their best to be visible and to get more traffic, but it doesn't work. So what do you have to say about that?
That it does take time, and to be patient. Don't give up, because SEO does take about 6 months to take full effect. So a lot of people get discouraged. And the main reason is they're not getting the rankings because they're not building backlinks, or they're building the wrong type of backlinks. And if you build the wrong type of backlinks, instead of ranking higher, actually drop down in rankings. So you have to be very, very careful with the backlinks. If you're going on a website like Fiverr or something like that to build backlinks, you got to think Google's going over there, buying all those backlinks and penalizing all these websites. So it's all about quality, not quantity with the backlinks. So got to be very, very careful with that part. You don't want to just build backlinks to build them. Got to build the right type. And if you build the right type of backlinks, Google's going to start trusting you, and then they're going to rank you for the keywords. But a lot of people kind of get discouraged after a few months. They're not seeing much traction, and it just takes time, unfortunately. There's no shortcut around getting trust from Google. You have to build that trust up, and that part takes time.
Okay. So about the backlinks, you said it's other sites that have to talk about you, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's other websites mentioning you. Or
okay, but the technical aspect, how does someone like do it and go about it?
Yeah, there's a ton of different ways. I would first look at your competitors' backlinks using the different tools like the Google, or like using Ahrefs or Moz or SEMrush. You have to pay for these tools, but you can put anyone's website in there and see all of their backlinks, and then one by one start reaching out to those sites to see if you could get a backlink, because if they're ranking out to your competitor, linking out to one of your competitors, they're more than likely going to link out to you. They just don't know about you, and you got to initiate that conversation. I mean, there's a ton of other strategies to build backlinks, such as like you could blog on other people's websites, you could do press releases, you could do podcasts, you could start a YouTube channel, you could start your own podcast, you could be a guest on people's podcasts. But it's just trying to get as many other websites to link out to talk about you, which means you got to get creative sometimes. Maybe you sponsor an event, you join like a chamber of commerce or the BBB or whatever it may be, but just trying to look at what your competitors, who's linking out to them, and trying to figure out what strategy they're employing and how you can incorporate that onto your own website. But the tools like Ahrefs, Moz, SEMrush will show you your competitors' backlinks, which really helps everything out, because with SEO, everything is transparent. I can see everything you're doing. You can see everything I'm doing. Nothing is hidden if you look in the right places.
Okay, when you say everything, you could see what I'm doing and what the other person is doing. How do you see that?
I look at the backlinks. So looking at your backlinks using Moz or Ahrefs or SEMrush, I could see all your backlinks. Or your website, I could just see all your coding. Right click on it, view your page source, and see all your coding on your website.
Okay, so someone asked us, like, I'm not a technical person concerning that. So you mentioned, I think these are programs. What programs did you say? Pfizer or
Ahrefs?
What is it?
Ahrefs.
Okay.
Or Moz or
Okay.
SEMrush.
Okay. Okay. So you use those to see the backlinks of the other people, right? Of the websites.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So it seems like very technical. Like I'm not an SEO person, so you have to be technical a little bit to know all these things. It seems like a lot of work, is it? Or
Yeah, a little bit of technicality, but more of just understanding how to just get the word out there, what keywords to put in there, how to build relationships with other websites, and build relationships in general with other people that are related to your business to help one another out.
okay, when you mean build relationship with other websites, what do you mean? It's not just by visiting like the website. What do you mean by that? Build relationship.
Just like we built a relationship.
Okay.
It's building a relationship like we did. Like I'm being a guest on your podcast, so building a relationship with you and your podcast.
Okay.
Or building a relationship with another website in the same way, reaching out to them and seeing how you can work together and help one another out.
Okay. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. And what advice would you have for people who want to get started in the SEO?
Just read as much as I can and read up on blogs and forums and different websites and start testing, because just what you read doesn't mean it's true. So test, see if it works, what doesn't work, but definitely read as much as you can or watch videos or listen to podcasts about digital marketing, and just make sure whatever you do take in is from maybe like a couple years old. You don't want anything too old because digital marketing changes so quickly, but just learning as much as you can. That's the way I learned it. There's no official courses, and even if there are, everything changes so quickly. So it's not going to be relevant for the most part. Still, some of the strategies might be fundamental strategies might be accurate, but in general, it changes so much that you always have to be on top of it.
Okay. So now with technology moving forward, metaverse and all that, do you see a connection with digital marketing in the future?
I'm not sure how the metaverse will work, but that one will be interesting to see what goes on in the future. But for now, Google is still around, and Google's not going anywhere anytime soon. So SEO is still working, but who knows what's going to happen in the future with all those changes. It'll be interesting.
Okay. And if you weren't doing what you were doing there in the digital marketing world, what other career choice would you have chosen?
Maybe be a professional skateboarder. Would have been fun. Love skateboarding, so wouldn't mind skateboarding around, traveling the world, and getting paid to do it. That would be the best job.
That would be the best job. All right. So that was a brief introduction or basic to SEO. And I'm glad that Brandon was here to share some of his knowledge. Anything else you would add to say to the people concerning that digital marketing and SEO?
Yeah, just keep working at it. Don't get discouraged if you don't see those rankings. It all takes time, but just keep working at it. Over time, you'll see it builds up, and you'll get that traction. But just don't give up.
All right. All right. Thanks, Brandon, for your time. I hope people found value in this podcast. So I had Brandon. What was your last name again? Leibowitz?
Yep, Brandon Leibowitz.
Brandon Leibowitz. So thank you, Brandon, for your time and this education on SEO. And like I said, I hope everybody found some value in it. And we'll see you next time on the next episode of Welcome to a Better Lifestyle.